Hey everyone, Dr. Perry from Stop Chasing Pain, the Lymph Doc, and we're going to talk about lymph today, particularly one spot. Probably, I have to say, I've been taking care of people for about 30 years and doing lymph work for at least 10. This spot is a top 5 spot without question that you want to take a look at and you want to work to make sure there's no stagnation or obstruction or trapped inflammation in that region, because if there is, you're going to feel pain somewhere. That I'm going to assure you. And you're going to find out why when you watch the video coming on up. We're going to talk about the largest lymph node in the neck, and that's going to sit on both sides of the neck, right at the top of the neck, on the side behind the angle of the jaw, below the lobe of the ear, what they call cervical 1 and cervical 2. Now, you have about 600 to 700 lymph nodes in your body. This is the largest one in the neck. And this is really important because this is going to influence how well blood flow gets in and out of the head and how well waste gets out of your brain. Okay, that's kind of a big deal. Now, what are lymph nodes? They're mini MINI toilets, and you have many MANY of them. And their job is to trap things and kill things that are trying to kill you. Bacteria, parasites, fungus, cancer cells, metabolic waste, cellular waste. They're a huge part of your overall immune system, and they get rid of just what I call muck. Muck is anything inside of you that's not supposed to stay inside of you for long. If muck stays inside of you that's not supposed to be inside of you, you're going to get inflammation, you're going to get chronic pain, you're probably going to get an autoimmune disease, and stuff's going to go sideways on you at some point. You do not want these lymph nodes trapped full of inflammation. And this area here is so important because of what resides there around that lymph node. You've got blood flow going into the head, neck, face, and brain there, called your internal carotid artery and your external carotid artery. And then you have blood flow coming out of the head, neck, face, and brain through the internal jugular vein and the external jugular vein. And if you're puffy, tender, swollen, and trapped right there, those can be compromised, and then you can feel symptoms. You also have a ton of nerves that sit there. A few big ones are cranial nerve number 10, which is your vagus nerve. You have a left side and you have a right side, and that's the most important nerve in the body to control the inflammatory reflex, to help take you out of fight or flight, puts you into a parasympathetic, relaxed state, wine, dine, feed, breathe, so you can heal, recover, and regenerate and go hashtag beast mode monster at another time because you've been able to recover. If that nerve becomes compromised, you stay in sympathetic dominance too long and you wear yourself down and you break down and you get pain and you stay sick all the time. Okay, who does that sound like? A lot of people in the world today. You also have a couple of other cranial nerves that run there. Next to the vagus, you've got number 9, the glossopharyngeal nerve, which is going to go to the tongue and the throat, and cranial nerve number 11, the accessory nerve that supplies muscles that turn your head, and move your shoulders. So that's a big one as well. You got the hypoglossal nerve that moves the tongue. That's also a huge one, but you have some sympathetic nerves there. What's called a sympathetic ganglia. A ganglia means a gathering of nerves, and that will control how blood flow circulates all up in here. Okay? So when this lymph node has an issue, it will impact every single part of your body all the way down to your pinky toe. Okay? So when you follow along with the reset that I'm going to show you later, and you'll take a little closer look at this, I want you to try this thing every day for like a month. And then just put your seatbelt on, hang on for the ride, and see what kind of really cool, awesome stuff starts to happen for you all over. Okay? So after building this one up a little bit, let's move into taking a closer look at that node and then what in the world you can do to help it. All right, here we go. Thanks for tuning in. All right, take a look at this. This is a side view of an anatomical model on the right side. Okay, so what you're going to see here is just look at that green circle, that green cluster. That is the largest lymph node area of the cervical spine itself. And you can see how these other lymph nodes spider out from it in different directions, going up around in the head and the neck and in the face. A lot of them underneath that jawline like crazy, and in the deep cervical lymph nodes. Now, why is this area really, really important? Right? So now that you know that, what can you do about it? Well, that's what comes next. All right, so we know that that lymph node sits right here. Now, if you've done our Big 6 lymphatic mojo reset, you know that this is spot number 2 of the Big 6. That means there has to be a spot number 1. Spot number 1 is down below at the collarbone, left side and right side, and this is the main drain for the lymphatics in the entire body. So 2 has to drain down towards 1 in order to get out. So you can be blocked at 2, but you can also be blocked at 1, which prevents 2 from draining down to 1, even if 2 works well. Do you follow? So what you always want to do is open the main drain always. So before we rub here on spot 2, I want you to take some time to rub at spot 1. To do that, it's very simple. Go above the collarbone on one side at a time. I'm going to start on the left just because I like starting on the left, but it doesn't matter which side you go on as long as you do both sides. So rub above the collarbone, nice and gentle. Don't cause pain. Don't press too hard. Move it in all sorts of different directions. I like spirals and circles and rotations and stuff like that, okay, but no pain. And then do that for about 20 to 30 seconds, all right? Move every direction. Draw hieroglyphic shapes here, whatever you want to do. And then do the same thing on the other side. So I'm floating over to the right, and then do the right. Now, I don't do both sides at the same time typically, because pressing in there, if you press both sides at the same time, you got blood flow that comes out and in right there, and you can compromise that. And you can cut off blood flow and go lights out and pass out. So just do one side at a time. So that opened up the drain. Now 2's already going to want to start coming down to 1 because you just open it up. Now go up to 1. Do one at a time. I go behind the angle of the jaw with the lobe of the ear right here, and then move in different directions. Go up and down, side to side, diagonals, circles, spirals, rotation. Draw the alphabet here. Balloon animal shapes. I don't care what you do. Just move it. Feels good. Oh, man. And then do the same thing on the other side. Right? 20, 30 seconds, somewhere in that ballpark. You can go longer if you want to. All right? Just like that. And do that a couple times a day just to open that space up. And what you'll typically note, just if you just those 2 places, all the other places in your body will probably start to feel a little bit better just because of how much you influence the draining of inflammation that's really, really close to your brain. But also, you're helping the blood flow in and out of your brain and all of those cranial nerves that control sensation and movement to most of the real estate up around this region. Okay? Now, The only time I really don't want you rubbing in there is if you actively have an infection right now. Like if you're sick, and especially if you got a high fever and your lymph nodes are swollen, well, that's a good thing because your lymph nodes are supposed to do that. They're supposed to get swollen and expand and trap stuff and kill stuff so you get better. But if you're not sick right now, fighting like an acute infection or something, well, then they're probably clogged and you got to open them up. And then that's one of the reasons why you may feel like crap. You follow? So just don't do it if you're currently really going through it with a sickness or a high fever. Let that pass. Then you can go in there and go to town. Do it every single day. Try to do this every day for a month, 30 days, and see how you feel. I guarantee you, you're going to feel different. And when you add all the other lymph node areas at the same time, like with the Big Six, or you do our 2-day intensive lymphatic course, or you purchase our Lymphatic Mojo self-help, self-care video on our website that you can watch and do on your own at home, then, I mean, like crazy good things can happen for you. So that's it for the video this week. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the largest lymph node in the neck. It is probably, I have to say, out of my 30 years of taking care of people and being the lymph doc, that spot is probably a top 5 spot to work on every single human being all the time, no matter what's going on, no matter what hurts. Give that a go. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow us on our website as well as stopchasingpain.com. We hope to see you at a workshop soon. Have a great one.